Hello Professor, myself Tulasiram Lakshmana Perumal. So today I am going to demonstrate the PL/SQL program which mentioned in the project 1, question number 3. So let me go back to the slider. So the key purpose of the program is this PL/SQL program generates 6x6 symmetric matrix filled with random prime numbers. It uses the nested tables to store that matrix data efficiently. And a function randomly select the prime numbers in the predefined list. So to pick the random prime numbers, we have to use dbms random. And a procedure ensure rows are initialized before that assignment, because if the rows are not initialized, then obviously we will get an error. Then the program demonstrates that modular PL/SQL design with the loops, function, and formatted output. So within this program, we are able to know like what is variable, what is loops, why we need function, and why we need a procedures, and how we are able to display the output in a specific format. So this is the first section and initial section. So declaration and data types. So this part declares all the required variables and the data types. So because we have to store that matrix value, so obviously we have to define the specific data types. So the table structured data should be stored in a table structured data type. So here we have to represent multiple variable like prime tab is an array of prime numbers, row underscore t, mat underscore t define the two level of table structure to represent a matrix. N defines the size of the matrix, and M is our main matrix variable that stores the prime numbers only. Then the next is the procedure. In the left side, it shows the procedure code snippet. So the procedure makes sure a row is in the matrix exists before we assign any values to it to avoid the duplicates. Because the random will pick the any random prime number from the given array. So to avoid to store the same number again and again, so we have to use this procedure to make sure that the number already exists in a result array. Then the random prime number function. So the function uh, function majorly used to uh, process some kind of logic and return the value. So function mostly it returns the specific type of the value. So here it will return the PLS integer type value. So this function picks the random integer index between 1 and the number of primes in the list. It uses the dbms random.value to generate the random values and trunc to make them integer. It prints the random index value and returns the corresponding prime number. Then we have to build the matrix to store that values. So here these nested loops fill the upper half of the matrix with random primes because the matrix should be symmetric each time a value is assigned to mij. The same value is copied to mji. So this creates a mirrored matrix without repeating random draws unnecessarily. And at the end, we need to display all the values in a proper format so that we know the program works properly and as per our expectation. So the program should print what's the index that's going to display and what's the value in the index, or which means what's the prime number available in the index that should be listed here. That's why we are using tbms output. So hope we know tbms output line will generate that output and then move the cursor to the next line, and that for loop will use to print that output in a matrix format. So to print the result in the expected output, we are using LPAD. So that will be used to format the numbers. So the column will be lined up neatly so that we are able to clearly view the results in our expected um, way. So the result is clean, readable 6 grid of randomly chosen prime number. So if let me show you the output of the program. Yeah, here you go. So I already executed the program. So here is the output of the program. Thank you, Professor.